Right now at noon, the Fort Scott Fire Department holds a memorial in remembrance of 9/11.
And temperatures do start to go on that warming trend as we head into the week.
Plus, the latest Route 66 attraction is now in place. We'll take a look at the Giant Edition.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The father of a teen charged in connection with a deadly hit and run now faces charges of his own. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Well, it's been a year since Gary LaTurner was killed in a hit and run crash just outside Galena, Kansas. Now, new charges filed Friday by Cherokee County investigators show the teen's father is now facing 2 felony charges. John Henry Joseph of Joplin is charged with leaving the scene of a fatality accident, and contributing to a child's misconduct. Authorities say Joseph was not driving the vehicle at the time of the crash, and he hasn't been arrested, but a summons has been issued for him to appear in court on October 7th. Now, the teen involved, Rocco Joseph, also faces felony charge of leaving the scene of a fatality accident. His case has been refiled as an adult. Now let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a look at the forecast.
Well, we've had a really nice last couple of days. Temperature lows dropped down to mid 40s yesterday, a high of low 80s, and then we also saw a low of low 50s today. Now we're warming up to the mid 80s as we move into the middle of the day right now. Still just upper 70, about 78 out in Joplin, but we've got really low humidity for most of the day, so it's going to feel good even though temperatures are starting to warm up. Now, outside of the slight warm up, and like I said, slight, so we're only getting up to the low 90s on Wednesday, we don't have much else going on. It's going to be sunny skies pretty consistently over our 4 states region, but taking a look out in the tropics, out in the Gulf, there is a tropical storm developing, and actually it was named today, named Francine. They expect it to possibly make a Category 1 hurricane as it makes landfall and could affect us. We could get some showers from that later in the week, but I'll have those details coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. We'll see you soon. Well, Democratic candidate for Missouri U.S. House District 7, Missy Hesketh, held a forum yesterday at the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 95. The event included dinner as Hesketh also fielded questions from constituents. Hesketh is currently the mayor of Forsyth, Missouri.
I got to meet so many wonderful people down at Landreth Park already today, and just revisiting with people that I've already met from Joplin and Neosho who are coming into town, and as far away actually as Taney County are here, and meeting new people and hearing their perspectives and why they want to see change in our representation. That just means the world to me.
Now, Hesketh is running against incumbent Republican Eric Burleson and Libertarian Kevin Craig in the November election. Well, 8 puppies found dead inside a tote left at the Joplin Humane Society. Joplin Humane Society staff say someone left a tote outside their building on Emperor Lane, but it was in a place hard to notice. All 8 puppies inside had died. Joplin Humane Society Director Connie Andrews says the staff is all heartbroken at these senseless deaths. Andrews says she doesn't understand leaving them where they could not be seen. Well, about 7:45 Friday evening, Carterville Fire was alerted to a house fire in the 300 block of Pearl Street. On arrival, they faced heavy smoke coming from the upstairs and a man that was trapped. After the man was rescued, the fire was quickly extinguished. Now, the source of the fire was a window AC unit. In our video, you can see firefighters spraying water through the AC unit, and the water has a spitting effect. The man was rushed to an area hospital, and later he was transferred to a Springfield unit for a higher level of care. His current condition is unknown. Fire units from Webb City, Oronogo, and Denaweg assisted Carterville. Well, the Fort Scott Fire Department held its first annual 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb Saturday. KOAM's Mitch Adams has the story.
The community backs the fire department so much, and it's great to get them all involved and just to see them come out and support us even more for our event and future endeavors. It's humbling, it really is.
The Fort Scott Fire Department hosted a 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb at Prairie Field. This event was the first of its kind to be put on by the fire department. The initiative to begin hosting an event like this was started by Deputy Fire Chief Mike Miles. Miles told us about why the department felt the need to plan this for the community.
So our members have actually started doing this for the last 5 years. We did it ourselves, and I posted it on our Facebook page, and people last year commented, hey, we want to do this. So then I thought to myself, well, why not make it an event? Because I know some bigger cities like New York, Wichita, Kansas City, they do their own stair climb. So I thought, well, I'll just try to make an event local and try to get the public involved and turn it into something big.
The stair climb wasn't the only thing happening at the field today. A 5K run and walk was just another part of the memorial. Samantha Smith, a community member who participated in the stair climb, told us about the importance of memorializing 9/11 victims.
It's very important. You know, it's been 23 years now, and it's something that everybody should remember because these people gave their lives, and it's just, it's something else. You know, I don't know. I've never been in that position myself. I've never been that brave. So, yeah, it's really important.
The event today included a reading of the list of victims killed in the 2001 terrorist attack. A remembrance speech was also given before the climb began. Reporting from Fort Scott, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Participants climbed 110 flights of stairs, which is about 15 laps up and down the bleachers. Well, Special Olympics Kansas and the Crawford County Sheriff's Office collaborated for the second annual Duck and Jeep Derby. The event helps raise money for the Special Olympics. Jeeps are judged in 2 categories, Best Decorated and People's Choice. The Best Decorated category is selected by Special Olympics athletes, and the top 3 Jeeps in each category received a plaque. The event also featured giveaways, cornhole, and more.
The sheriff really likes Jeeps and came to us with the idea to have a Duck and Jeep Derby. We really honestly didn't know what it was, but it has completely flourished, and it's really cool to see kind of a different part of the community come together and raise money for Special Olympics.
Well, if you come outside and find that someone has put a rubber duck on your Jeep, it's a way to show kindness. And if you went on a road trip in America in the 1960s, there's a good possibility a statue like this may look a bit familiar. Texaco muffler men used to be a staple in advertising and roadside attractions, but only a select few of them were produced in the 60s. One of the most visited spots along the Joplin area Route 66 is Gearhead Curios in Galena, Kansas. Now, the destination is a vintage Texaco fueling station turned into a souvenir shop and photo destination.
Texaco back in the 60s had what they called the Big Friend, and those molds have been destroyed. There's only 300 ever made. There's 6 left in existence. So we took what molds we had and made an homage to the Texaco Big Friend because he was in the Texaco uniform, he was waving.
Well, from the top of his hat to the bottom of his shoes, Big A is 22 feet tall and he weighs about 1,200 pounds. Well, coming up, Arkansas lawmakers are looking to expand DEI on college campuses. And later, we're making marinated steak nachos in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Lawmakers in Arkansas are starting a discussion about the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion in colleges across the state. Maya Ellison has more.
Universities in the state of Arkansas have been involved in conversations surrounding diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, for years. But what exactly is it?
Equity inclusion, and it's really an effort to basically make sure that you're intentional about making your student body or your workplace inclusive of all cultures, ethnicities, and just different persons, different personalities.
This week, the Higher Education Subcommittee met to continue these DEI conversations, expanding on the for and against arguments of what the future holds for higher ed institutions.
Focus on what is going on with the LEARNS Act and education, the transition to having our higher ed people work with K-12, career training, CTE. That was really the focus.
State leaders like Subcommittee Co-Chair Senator Dan Sullivan shared his thoughts on why he believes DEI should be removed from the state's collegiate institutions, explaining that it stops students from gaining equal treatment.
At some point, we're going to have to turn the corner and said, we're all equal. Everybody is preferred, and that's our goal.
On the other hand, some state leaders like Senator Frederick Love believe DEI is beneficial for all students who are underrepresented.
These are movements that are intentional to ensure that the educational space or the workspace is reflective of what America looks like.
Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Budget friendly? Yes. Made in under 30 minutes? Yes. Tasty? Well, that's a big yes. So stay right where you are because the recipe's coming up next.
And we also have slightly warmer temperatures, plus maybe some rain in the forecast. Talk about that right after the break. Well, it feels fantastic outside. We are still going on a slight warming trend in the next couple of days, but we'll go ahead and take a look outside. And downtown Pittsburgh, you can see it's clear skies, not much going on out there. We've got a couple of chances of rain in the forecast though, but until then, we're going to be mostly sunny all week long for the first half of the work week, and temperatures do slightly start to warm up. But what we're anticipating is, as this is now Tropical Storm Francine, as Francine starts to make its way onto the coast, we could see a couple of isolated shower chances later in the week. But until then, we're going to stay mostly dry. We even have very low dew points throughout most of the work week. And temperatures, like I said, are starting to warm up mid to upper 80s today and tomorrow, and then getting into those low 90-degree temperatures on Wednesday. But throughout the whole first half of the work week, dew points remain pretty low, 42 degrees out in Webb City and Pittsburgh, 46 out in Commerce. So anything less than 50-degree dew points is just fantastic. It's refreshing. So temperatures are warming up, but it won't feel much warmer than what it already has been. And that's the fall for you. It's going to feel great, even though we're getting warmer. So throughout the rest of the evening, temperatures start to drop down through the 70s and quickly into the 60s. Overnight lows down to the low to mid 50s tonight. And then tomorrow is when we're starting to see that real warm up. 89 degrees for our high and some areas in the 90s. But it's mostly going to be upper 80s to about 90, maybe 91 degrees. But it's going to be sunny and, like we said, pretty low humidity. Now, our next chance of rain is going to be very slim chance, but still going to be from Francine. So right now, just got named a tropical storm a couple of hours ago. As it moves through the Gulf onto getting closer to the coast, possible chance that it could be a Category 1 hurricane. Now winds, this is going to be on Tuesday evening, 75 miles per hour, and that's when it gets named as a hurricane. Then it makes its way onto the Louisiana coast, hitting New Orleans. Now again, it's still only going to be a Category 1, but then it'll make its way up through Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and into Tennessee. But you can see we're just right out of the outskirts of the possible rain showers, the outer bands. Now, the setups happened before, earlier in the hurricane season, and we did get a couple of those bands of rain that dropped quite a bit of rainfall. So we are possibly expecting, this is going to be later into the evening on Thursday and into early Friday, where we see that very slight chance. Right now it's only a 10% chance because it just depends on how this hurricane forms. If it's a little stronger, it's going to divert to the east just a little bit more, moving just outside of our area when it moves into inland. But if it's weaker, it's going to make more of a straight path, straight north, and then we could see some of those outer bands. So until then, it's going to be mostly cloudy on Thursday due to the storm, but Thursday evening and into Friday is when we could see those outer bands. We've got that 10% chance of scattered showers. Right now, it's low confidence, but as we get a little bit closer, we might expect to see increase in the confidence. And then through the weekend, temperatures remain in the upper 80s and overnight lows down into the mid 60s. Next chance of rain that we're a little bit more confident about is going to be not this upcoming Thursday, but the Thursday after that. We're going to expect to see some possible severe weather.
All right, well, we certainly need some rain, so hopefully we get some.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, stick around. We're making marinated steak nachos in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Today, Howard's showing us how to make marinated steak nachos in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Every once in a while, I like to make an appetizer and serve it for dinner. One of my favorites is nachos. That's why today we're sharing a beefy recipe for nachos that is dinner worthy. We start by marinating a flank steak in some lemon juice, garlic, and a few seasonings. Once a steak has soaked up all that flavor, we can broil it or grill it inside or out until it's medium rare or so. While that finishes up, we take some tortilla chips and place them on an oven-proof platter or a couple of baking sheets. Then we top them with some shredded cheddar cheese and bake them off just long enough to let the cheese melt. After that, it's time to slice our steak across the grain and top our cheesy nachos with it. All that's left to do now is pile on our typical toppings. You know, tomatoes, onions, olives. You get the idea. Talk about a fun change of pace way to serve dinner. And like always, you can make this your very own by adding or leaving out whatever toppings you want. The recipe for our amazing marinated steak nachos is online now, so you can enjoy this for a light dinner or hearty afternoon snack. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a nacho-licious way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
We can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
Well, we've got above average temperatures for the next couple days, just slightly above, upper 80s, low 90s Tuesday and Wednesday. Some clouds start to roll in on Thursday, and then we've got a very slight 10% chance of some showers from Tropical Storm Francine, which could become a hurricane, although it remains low in confidence just because we're not absolutely sure on the path it's going to continue to take. But outside of that, it's going to just be pretty consistently warm and sunny.
Alrighty, looks good, and we definitely need that rain. Hopefully we get it.
You bet.
And what do you have for us this evening?
Well, lots coming up at 5. For starters, new information shows air travel incidents involving lithium-ion batteries are on the rise. However, most travelers are unaware that there's a threat at all. Plus, an amendment on Missouri's ballot this November would allow changes to how voters cast ballots in primary and general elections under the Missouri Constitution. We're going to hear how this could impact voters in southwest Missouri. And Dream Big Little One in Columbus, Kansas receives a grant to help make their building more secure. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today. KOAM News at 5.
Absolutely. Lots to look forward to. Thank you, Dal. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll, of course, see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.